All right, so I'm doing a little something different here. I filmed this the first time the other day as a unboxing, and I carried around the knife a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the unboxing and then give you a review right after it, because I've carried this around for a couple days now, and I think I have a great opinion about it that I want to share with you. So stick around. Right after the unboxing, you will see a review. Now on to the unboxing. What's up, YouTube? It's Appalachian ADV Rider here. Thanks for joining me. Got another knife unboxing. Check this out. What could it be? You know from the description what it is, but let me open it. I have to unbox this so I can play with this tonight. So I might as well just film it. So, I like fixed blade knives, but they're difficult to carry. So what I've learned, for me, it's the, what do they call that? It's the vertical carry. It's the Appendix carry that works very well for me. And so this knife here is a Appendix carry. Check it out. The White River knives. White River knives. Here we go. It's not my first one. This is my second one. Let me give you a little background story about this. So my main carry when I ride my motorcycle is this Bradford Guardian 3.5. Love this knife. And I have it attached to my water bladder on the outside of my jacket. And I feel it's safe because it's got a rivet here. And even if I fall down, hopefully it won't hurt me. But regardless of that, I love this knife as a fixed blade, and I have it attached to my water bladder, like as I said, and I don't feel like taking it on and off. So I figured, let me get another knife that I can EDC carry. So here we go. It's this one. So basically, this knife here is much more expensive. I think it's over $200, and it doesn't come with a Kydex sheath. So that was like another $40, $45. So this is very expensive. It's and this one's a Magnacut. So I love that steel because it's a stainless steel. And that's what I got here. So let's check it out first. So it's the Model 1 Pro in Magnacut. And they targeted 63 HRC. So, 62 to 64, which is a great hardness. Got a little instructions how you can change the belt clip. And I'm going to make this a horizontal carry. So that's why I got this also. So this knife I think was $169.95, so $170 in Magnacut, and it has a Kydex sheath. So this one was, let's say, $250, and this one here is $170. Check that out. Yes. And I like that it's thinner also. You can see the handle. It makes it it's a little thinner on the handle. So if I Appendix carry this, it's going to hide better, I believe. So let's get into it. So this is a G10. Already it feels a little rougher. I mean, it's going to be fine, but it has some texture to it for sure. Let's do the first pull. Ooh, yes. All right. I like it. I like it like that. Very, very nice. Oh, that feels good. I like this size knife for an EDC. Like I said, I've been using this knife. Let's pull this out, compare it. Okay. So actually, I thought this one was going to be a little bit bigger, but I must have, I don't know what I ordered here. So, what does it say here? It says Model 1 Pro, I guess, well, M1, I don't know. 7 inches. I just thought it was. I thought it was a quarter of an inch longer, but I'm happy that it's not. And so, as short as it is, the blade length is not that much shorter. Let's go measure this thing. All right. Let's see. Put this stuff out of the way. Got my little device here. Oh, turn it the other way around. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Can you see it? There we go. Here's your inches down here. So this one is 7 inches, and this one is 7.5. The cutting length of the blade is, let's call it 2 3/4, and this one is 3 1/4. So I'd say that's a 1/2 inch, but is that a 1/2 inch? Doesn't look like a 1/2 inch, but it says it's a 1/2 inch, right? Man, this feels good. It feels thin in the hand. And I have big hands. I have a 2XL hand or 2X hand. But man, this feels good. I love this finger choil. And I love this jimping. It's a little rougher than the Bradford. I mean, and they're spaced differently. You can see how they're spaced differently. But the blade stock looks a little thinner here. And the handle is definitely thinner. And you can see that the Bradford Guardian thickens out toward the end. But I wanted something thinner because I'm going to carry it. And let's see how this thing works. Okay, like we said, we got a 7-inch blade. Let's check out how sharp it is. Well, let's check out the weight first. All right, got that. Get it in screen. That's grams. So it's 91 grams with just a knife, and 136 grams, or 4.8 ounces, the whole package, or 3.2, just a knife. So that's not bad. This thing feels kind of thin. I like it because it's going to hide better, right? The thicker it is, the more it would imprint. You know, I wish it's flat. So the difference between that and this Guardian 3.5 is it's contoured and it swells in the back. So that actually feels a whole lot better in the hand than this one. So while this is thinner, it still feels really good in the hand. My 4 fingers fit exactly on it. There's not very much extra, but it feels pretty good in the hand. It just doesn't have any contouring. It's a little grippy, rough, which is, you know, I guess good and bad. It's going to go against your clothing, so it's not really going to be bothering your skin too much. Let's see. Do we have any? Let's do a paper cut test. So we have here a political paper thing over here. Whoa, that's nice. Oh yes, that's super sharp. This knife is really sharp too, but yeah, I like that. It's pokey, sharp. It's small. It's a Magnacut. So that's one thing I liked about Magnacut, especially with this knife here. I ride in the rain constantly with this knife, and there's not a lick of rust on it. So I wanted something very similar to that. So here's this one. Yeah, I like the smaller package. It's going to be hopefully a great carry knife, but this is a unboxing. It's not a review. So anything I say now, my opinion could change tomorrow. White River Knives make some really quality products. Let me show you. I have another one of their knives. Now this one came already Appendix carrying. And it's smaller than that. But I definitely like this knife. This is a Magnacut. I forgot the name of it. I think it's like a fire starter or something like that. What else? I've got this MKM knife. Oh, it's about the same size. It's just a little bit longer than that. This one has a lanyard hole too. I'm not a lanyard hole guy, so who knows? If you like that kind of stuff, that's great. And let's compare it to like a folding knife. This is a Spyderco Sage 5. So it's just about, it's shorter than the Sage 5 when it's open. But, obviously fixed blades are bigger when they're closed. When the folding blade is closed. Okay, so I just tried to Appendix carry it, and it got away. The belt buckle kind of got in the way of having this thing rest in front of me, so I had to pull it off to the side a little bit. So this is not a review. This is an unboxing. So I'm happy about the, having a knife that has an appendix carry, and we'll see how it carries, and I'll report back to you. But yeah, I like this knife. It's a smaller package. I think it's a good size, for a concealed EDC carry. So it's got a sharpening choil here, and it is just barely past the plunge grind. So you can get a couple of sharpenings out of this thing without it creating a smile. But that, that is right there at the very edge of where it should be. Everything's chamfered here in the finger choil, so that feels really good. It definitely feels thinner in the hand, but, for what it is, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's a ergonomic dream, but it's a nice small EDC fixed blade. Well, I mean, it's like, criticizing a two-seater for not having a lot of, luggage space. So, White River Knives makes some really good stuff. This Magnacut is coming in at the right HRC. 63 is the target. So I think that's exactly where it should be. I don't know. I think I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be hopefully my EDC fixed blade when I do carry a fixed blade. So it has to be while I'm not working. I like the security of a fixed blade. There's nothing to go wrong, right? There's no moving parts. There's nothing. And this is Magnacut, so you're going to be able to put it in the rain, and it's not going to rust. Nothing's going to happen. The one thing I can say about the Bradford Guardian compared to this one is that these things here rusted on my Bradford. I had to take them apart and oil them. So I'm not really sure what kind of material this is, but this looks like a stainless steel. So that should be better. Let's compare them. Yeah, so that's about a 1/2 inch small. That's what we said. I mean, it didn't feel like it when I was doing the math, but my mind's somewhere else. When you compare the blade size, it's only maybe a 1/4 inch smaller on the blade. So you got a 1/4 inch in the handle and a 1/4 inch in the blade to make up that 1/2 inch. But it's thinner. So this is going to be definitely an easier thing to carry. Though I do like the micarta on this one because it gets tacky when it gets wet, where the G10 probably, won't change. But it it won't get any tackier. But it definitely has some traction to it. So, I don't know. Full tang blade. It definitely feels thinner in the neck. And again, I'm just so used to this Guardian 3.5 that it could be just, adjusting to it. But definitely not complaining about it. And I bet you it'll disappear on me. Well, let's compare the weight, too. I weighed the backpacker, but let's weigh the Guardian. So that's 5.1 ounces. Much heavier. So 2 ounces heavier. So, of course, it's going to be a little more substantial. It's almost 50% heavier. Yeah, no, I definitely like it. I'm glad I got it. Can't wait to carry it. So don't forget, this is a unboxing. It's not a review. We'll let you know what I think as I carry it, and my opinions could change. But so far, so good. I really like it. Okay, YouTube. Welcome back, Appalachian ADV Rider. It's been a couple of weeks now since I've had this knife, the White River Model 1 Pro backpacker. And now I want to give you a little review on this. So, as you saw at the beginning of this video, I gave you an unboxing and some specs. So I'm going to not talk about that anymore, and I'm just going to get right into my likes and dislikes and some high-level stuff about this knife. So, let's check it out. This knife's got a thin neck and handle. It's a very small EDC fixed blade. Really enjoy that about this knife. Now, this knife comes with this Kydex sheath, and you can, I think it comes in straight up and down, so you can belt carry it vertically. But I like a fixed blade to carry horizontally. I like Appendix carrying this knife. So I'd shifted this belt buckle to this position here. This is such a lightweight, small knife. It just kind of hides away. The price of this knife is $170 in Magnacut. I think they make it in S35VN. Don't quote me on that. They make it in another steel, or maybe LMAX, but I like Magnacut. It's got a saber grind with the flat grind here, and it's a full tang knife. If you take the scales off, there's a little cutout here, one long cutout where these screws come in. I filmed a disassembly of this knife, but I'm not going to include it in this video. So that's a full tang design. The scales are removable. I can get all 4 fingers on it. All right, so that's kind of a high level, some facts about this knife. Let's get into my dislikes of this knife. I really can't come up with any real negatives about it, other than, I'm not going to criticize it for its size or thinness, because it's a small, thin knife. So, it's like dinging a 2-seater convertible for not having a back row seat to it, right? So, if you're looking for a small, thin, light knife, this knife is really, really good. I will criticize, one of the things I don't like about it is this sharpening choil. It's so close to the finger choil that, depending on how you tend to sharpen this, you can easily scuff this up. Now I use ceramic rod. I think if it had a little more space, it'd have been perfect for those people that sharpen their knives enough. For me, it's really not going to matter a whole lot, because, I'm going to probably strop this thing to death. Unless I chip this edge here, I won't ever really need to sharpen this with a stone or anything like that. I'll just be using a leather strop or my ceramic rods. And so this distance here doesn't affect me very much, but I'm pointing it out that's an awkward sharpening choil. While I'm not going to criticize this for being a small, thin knife, I will say that the scales are flat, and if it was contoured, it would feel a little bit better in the hand. Now, this doesn't feel bad in the hand, don't get me wrong. And I like that it's really thin, but if it had a little contouring to it, it wouldn't have really thickened it up that much, but it would have added a little bit more to it feeling better in the hand. But that's a minor criticism. It's a little nitpicky thing. So I wouldn't really take that as a real criticism, but it's something that I'm pointing out to you. And one of the things I don't like about White River Knives, and I have a few of their knives, and I really love this brand, but I can't stand this branding that they have. It's almost like a Microtech, where they put this big logo on the blade. I understand their need to try to advertise their knives, but I don't know. That's kind of annoying. So that was all like my little nitpicks on this knife. Really, I can't say anything that bad about this knife. I really, really love this knife. So just understand that. Let's go through my likes. One of the things I like about this brand and this knife is that it's guaranteed for life. It's got an excellent warranty. You write them, they're responsive to you. They don't ask any questions. They'll replace anything. So great brand. You pay a little extra for their products, but you're getting something for it. Another thing I like about this knife is that the Magnacut is heat treated at the right hardness. It's being targeted at 63. So that's awesome. And this great thing about this knife, it comes with a Kydex sheath. I mean, my Bradford Guardian, I had to buy a Kydex sheath, and that was like $45. So, this knife is $170, but let's say it has a $45 sheath to it, so it's really not $170. It's like $125. That Bradford Guardian in Magnacut, I think, was like $225 or something like that, and then another $45 for the sheath. So this is a much cheaper option. And this sheath is really good. It pops right out. Look at that. And you can carry it vertically or horizontally. Because this thing here, like I said, you can switch this to a different position. So I really, really like that. And the sheath is really good quality. There's like no rattle. Has great retention. And it also comes with this retention screw. So already this thing loosened up a little bit. It wasn't rattling, but it was much easier to pull out after pulling it in and out of the sheath for a lot. So I just moved this up slightly and tightened it, and now it's absolutely perfect. I use this knife at home all the time. I eat apples, and in particular, this is my apple knife. It's such a great little blade. You can get your finger right up to the edge here. Got a lot of control. I also make, cauliflower, for lunch or dinner. And I use this to slice the cauliflower. I just use this knife all the time. It's great, great, great knife. Also, I wear it. It's my EDC fixed blade. It's a concealed carry. It hides so well underneath my shirt. I also like that I use stainless steel screws here on the scale. Some of these knives, fixed blade knives, use screws that rust, right? You got a rust-proof knife, but you got to worry about the screws. Like the Magnacut, the Guardian 3.5, the screws there have rusted on me, and I, have to apply oil to it all the time. You don't have to apply any oil to the knife, but you have to apply it to the screws, which is kind of silly. I mean, I'm not really sure what they were thinking there. This knife came in very, very sharp. I already showed you some, cutting things there, but I'm going to point out as one of my likes that this knife is sharp. It's got a real nice pointy tip to it. That's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, obviously it's a little dainty, let's call it, so I wouldn't really be prying with this knife, but in terms of as a cutting tool, this is a great knife. That pointy tip gets into packages, blister packs, cutting zip ties, cutting boxes is amazing. This thing just slices right through boxes. Then this finger choil works really well. I mean, you're locked in there. And my thumb falls in the right spot. The jimping's not real rough, which is the kind of way I like it. I like it there, but I don't like it like cutting my finger. So, and also the scale kind of gets thicker in the back. It's thinner here and thicker in the back, so it kind of conforms to my hand. I mean, it is a thin, small knife, so I wouldn't say it's perfect ergonomics here, but it's good. It's definitely good. I think if it had, like I say, contouring on the scales, it would have really taken this knife to the next level, but not to say it's bad right now. And the last thing I want to point out as a positive is this G10 is pretty grippy. So, it's not going to slip out of your hand. That's the one good thing about G10. It's a fantastic material in terms of longevity and, giving you grip. So this is a really great knife. So who would buy this knife? Or why should you buy this knife? And, I would recommend this to anybody that wants to carry a fixed blade, but wants to conceal it. Because it's small, you can horizontally carry it. You can appendix carry this, and you can also just stick it in your pocket. You can take off this the backing to this sheath and just stick this in your pocket and get an Alti clip if you want, but that would stick out a little bit. So if you don't want it to stick out at all, you just take this off and stick it in your pocket, and it just pops right out. I mean, look at that. It's great. Also, if you're an outdoorsy person like I am, this is just a really great knife. If you're hiking or kayaking, you want to have a knife on you, but you don't want something to be really big and bulky and get in your way, and it's heavy. This knife is, and you don't want it to rust, right? So you might like crew wear or whatever, but those steels rust. So this is a nice stainless steel. You don't have to worry about it rusting. It's small, it's light, great for outdoor activity. Like I said, for kayaking, camping, hiking, I ride my motorcycle. I get rained on all the time. I would have no problem packing this in, even in my jacket. And like I said, it's small and lightweight. Well, I think that wraps up the review, and I really appreciate y'all tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up on this video. Leave a comment down below about what's your favorite fixed blades. I've been really getting into these fixed blades here, and I'm looking for a recommendation. So give me a recommendation. All right, y'all. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next round.